welcome to my channel Begin Now, and today we are going to learn friction. So today we are going to focus on what is friction, what causes friction, advantages of friction, disadvantages of friction, and how can we increase and decrease friction. So let's begin. Part 1. What is friction? Friction is a force that slows down moving objects or prevents a stationary object from moving. For example, a rolling ball stops after some time because the force of friction acts on the ball and it comes to rest. This is because the force of friction acts in the opposite direction from that of a ball and it stops. The force of friction always opposes the motion of an object. What can friction do? First, it can stop a moving object. For example, if we roll a ball, it will stop after some time. This happens because of friction. Second, it prevents a stationary object from moving. For example, if a ball is kept at one place, it won't move to another place by itself. The force which is keeping the ball at its place is known as friction. Part 2. What causes friction? Friction is caused when two surfaces act upon each other and come in direct contact with each other. Have you ever observed a rough table with a magnifying glass? You will observe that there are irregularities on the table. These irregularities are known as ridges and grooves. When the surfaces are rough and have irregularities between them, that is, ridges and grooves, the two surfaces get caught up with each other and the force of friction is more. And on the other hand, when the surfaces are smooth and have very little irregularities between them, then the force of friction is less. If the object is heavy, then it is difficult to move it. Therefore, friction is more. And if the object is light, it is easy to move it. Therefore, friction is less in that case. Part 3. Advantages of friction. The advantages of friction are as follows. We are able to walk because of friction. It is because of friction between our shoes and the ground that we are able to walk. Without friction, we would slip as soon as we try to walk. Have you ever tried walking on ice? It is very difficult to walk on ice as the friction is very low between the shoes and the ice. Cars and buses are able to move safely on road due to friction between the tires and the road. Their tires have designs on them to increase the friction so that they don't slip. Ordinary cars have treaded tires to increase friction. Treaded tires are the ones which have patterns and designs on them. And racing cars have smooth tires to decrease friction. These are called. It would not be possible to light a matchstick by rubbing it against a matchbox if there was no friction. This friction allows us to rub the matchstick on the matchbox. If there was no friction, our matchstick would slip as soon as we tried to rub it on the matchbox. Isn't it funny? We will not be able to write on paper with pencil or pen because friction allows us to write. If there was no friction, our pencil would slip as soon as we started writing on the paper. Friction causes nails and screws to hold on to walls. Part 4. Disadvantages of friction. Friction causes wastage of energy. This is because any object that moves has to overcome the force of friction. Have you ever seen your shoes wearing out after a month or so? This is because of friction. Friction wears out the rubbing surfaces. The sole of your shoes wears out in a few months due to friction. Friction generates heat. Sometimes this can be harmful. The heat produced in a fast-moving machine is very high. Proper arrangements have to be made to cool the machine, otherwise it can get damaged. If the cooling arrangement in a car does not work properly, the engine can get jammed. Part 5. How can we increase and decrease friction? First, by polishing. Polishing a rough surface smoothens it and reduces friction. By lubricating. Friction is decreased by lubricating surfaces with oil or grease. The surfaces then have a thin layer of lubricant between them. Graphite is used as a lubricant in machines as it smoothens the surface. Third, by streamlining. Fluids such as water and air also exerts friction on objects moving through them. The frictional force that fluids exert on object is called as drag. Friction is minimum for a streamlined shape, which is rounded in the front and narrow at the back. Nature has given birds and fish streamlined bodies. The bodies of aircrafts, ships, and cars are also streamlined. Fourth, by wheels. We can reduce friction by using wheels or ball bearings. We will learn about this in rolling friction. Now we'll see how we can increase friction. First, threaded tires. Tires have designs and patterns with grooves on the surface to increase friction with the road. This prevents slipping of tires on a wet surface. Second, sand and gravel. Sand and gravel is strewn on slippery ground during rainy season to increase friction. It is then easier to walk on ground because it is very difficult to walk in water, because the friction is very less and there are chances that we might slip. Third, athletic shoes. Spikes are provided in the soles of shoes used by players to increase friction, so that they get a firm grip on the ground. Fourth, gymnastic. Gymnasts apply a coarse substance on their hand to improve their grip. Types of friction. There are three types of friction. First, static friction. In this type of friction, the object is at rest position and does not move. Imagine a box kept at one corner. It is not moving, and here the friction is static friction. Second, sliding friction. In this type of friction, the object slides on the ground to move from one place to another. Third, rolling friction. In this type of friction, the object has wheels or ball bearings which reduce friction and can help the luggage to move easily without applying much force to the luggage. When you go to the market, you take that cart which has wheels on them, because it is easier to move the luggage with wheels than to slide it or carry it down. The least force applied is in the rolling friction. Then is friction tester. Friction tester is a device that is used to measure friction. To make a friction tester, you'll need a spring balance. Then, tie the string to the spring balance to an object. Put the object on a surface. It can be of any type, rough, smooth, or any other type of surface. Now pull the spring balance until the object starts to move. If the surface is rough, the reading of spring balance will be more. If the surface is smooth, the reading of spring balance will be less. This indicates that on the rough surface the friction is more, and on the smooth surface the friction is less. Spring balance is a device that is used to measure force. We can also create a friction tester using it. Thank you for watching this video, and if you have any doubt, you are free to mention it in the comment section. We come with interesting topics every week. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Bye-bye!